Page 58, the Battle Hymn of the Republic. Common time or 4/4 time, no sharps or flats, C major or A minor, but if you look at the end of it, it's C major. The chord C major. Well, they're introducing the dotted rhythm for this dotted 8th note, 16th note combination. And remember I said before, once you understand how dot works, dotted notes, it doesn't matter what the dotted note is. It works the same. The dot gets half the value of the note. So here, a 16th note, well, the 8th note is dotted. The 8th note gets half a count. The dot's going to get half of that. It's the equivalent of a 16th note. So it's like a dotted 8th note is worth 3 16th notes. That's all. So using their little example there, they got the second example. 1 and 2 and 3. Or I could go 1E and a 2E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a... I'm too lazy for that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. The dot's just a short little note. I mean, the 16th note is a short little note. That's all it is. Let's talk about Battle Hymn here. At the beginning, 4th finger. I have a problem with this piece. Let me get it off my mind so we get it past it. A lot of people will play this at the beginning in a triplet rhythm. And I've even seen simplified arrangements of this piece for beginners written as triplets. So it's... It kind of rocks along. Ba, 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 ba. Please don't. It's a dotted rhythm. It needs to be a dotted rhythm. Those short notes got to be short. See, it's a whole different atmosphere on that. You get triplets on the next page. That's later on, right? This part's got to be dotted rhythm. So here, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. Sometimes on those E's, I'll do a 5-4-5 because I like to use different notes on or different fingers on repeated notes anyway, and I have a habit of doing that sometimes. It's a little harder at first, but it'll serve you well if you can learn to do it. 4th finger, and there on the A's I do a 2-1-2. 4th finger. Use their fingering, it's fine. And that takes us over to the top of page 59, where the time changes now to 8th notes. 6/8 time. Well, the common thing, you got to have something that stays the same. When you change time signatures, something has to stay the same. There has to be an anchor, sort of. And in this case, it's the dotted quarter note. A lot of times in the music, when you get a change in time signatures, they'll put a little note up there that tell you what equals what, to tell you what the anchor is, what stays the same. They didn't do that here. But the point is, the quarter note in the first measure there on 59, those quarter notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, that beat, that stays, so that equals the dotted quarter note you see in the left hand there. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. That stays the same, and that's what we're doing. So it's here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2. It's like now we're in 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Now we're playing. You'd think they're triplets. They sound like triplets. 6/8 time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's really what we're doing here. So then the right hand gets a bunch of chords for a while, and then gets melody back at the end of the 3rd line. 2. Now this rocks. This swings. So this ba 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 like triplet and 2. And then the last line is. So that top note is changing. Wrist action here, bum 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 bum. Here, you're using the same fingers, so just go up. Again, I aim one finger, and I'll let the other fingers go along. So the last chord is this, so it's... Which finger you aim is up to you. The top note is the one you're bringing out. Aim the little finger. If that's confusing you, aim the bottom finger. Here, I don't care. I do it by aiming one finger. I don't want to have to aim 3 fingers at a time. Here, to do that. I'm going a little fast. You go slow and work it up gradually. In the left hand, you're starting out with chords at the beginning. And then over on page 59, this is legato. Watch this fingering, I like it. Here, 5, 4, 3. Now you get the melody in the left hand. 2. 2. 2 lift up. 2. Then after that, you go back to the chords. Wrist, with the wrist, not the whole arm, wrist. It's very loud, so I'll come back to this later. Right now, wrist. The fingering you use, find a fingering that works for you. Their fingering in the book is fine. I tend to use a slightly different one. It's a personal thing. And then the last line. Doesn't matter, you can do that. And then 2. Whatever. Put the heads together. Watch out on the top of page 59 in the 6/8 time. Those chords are changing there in the right hand. Make sure you got those under control. Bring out the right hand, or left hand here. Then the right hand. You see the all argando there? That means spread this way out. Play this a lot slower. Makes it a little more playable too. So work it out so the hands are working well together. As far as the articulation goes, there's a few accents here and there, and you can see some slurs connected. Follow those. And then the dynamics at the beginning, moderately loud, that's the right hand. You get to the top of page 59, it's a little more excited. These are accented. And then here, it's fortissimo, very loud, that's the left hand. We're going to hear the left hand. And then it switches, now the right hand is very loud. This is where if you can't do sort of loud in the left hand with this, then you have to get a little more arm involved. But don't get, we want to hear the right hand. You got to use the whole arm, that's fine, but let the wrist collapse each time. Don't play with a stiff wrist. And then these are accented here in the right hand. You have accents here. And it's very loud at the end. It's like, ooh, we're done. As far as the speed on this, you'll hear this piece at all kinds of speeds. This arrangement, they're saying a slow march tempo. At the beginning, you're marching. I don't know if that's a march tempo or not, because you're rough, right, left. To me, that's more of a march. You can't march. At the top of page 59, there's a retardando to slow down. Now it's majestic. Maestoso is majestic. Slow. You stay at that speed until the bottom with the allargando when you broaden it out or slow it down. This is cool. They've added pedal on 59 to help with the overtones and to help with the majestic part of it, but we don't want to smear it up too much. And here we have a problem. That's one of the things with pedal and chords. You see, when you have repeated chords on a piano, you cannot connect them unless you use pedal. Well, if you use pedal, you're adding overtones. That changes the overall tone quality of the sound, because this is different than this. They don't sound the same. There's a lot of overtones added with pedal. We have to keep that in mind when we use pedal. Well, at the top of 59, they're starting with pedal to connect this and make it more exciting. And then when you start with the action, when you get to the climax there, they take the pedal away. What? So it sounds like this. And you end up with this choppiness all of a sudden. I got problems with that. I would prefer you continue this pedal throughout. Pretty much the whole page on page 59. We just don't want it to get blurry, so we have to change the pedal with the melody. So here, starting with the last measure of the first line there, it's here. I'd use pedal there. And if I'm going to not use pedal, it might be just on the individual eighth notes in the left hand. Lift it up for the eighth notes here. To me, because I want all those overtones going all the time. I don't want this. I want this. This is the exciting part, so especially when it's fortissimo. I don't want to lose that. So, I mean, when the right hand gets the melody and the third line at the end, you're using pedal there. And I would continue to use the pedal the same as I did before. I lift it up on the eighth notes. The fourth line. Again, at the bottom, I would still pedal that second measure. Change it with each dotted quarter note. Here. Yes, I would pedal that whole page on page 59 on the 6/8 time part. Now, that's what I'm recommending you try. You have to listen very carefully to the effect the sound of the pedal has to the sound of the piece. That's just... Let's play this together very slowly to double check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do the dynamics, and I can't slow down. We have to take but we're going to slow anyway, so it doesn't matter. So I'll give us 3 counts. Now let's try it together slowly. So when we get to this 6/8 time, and we change time signatures, you got to watch out. At the beginning, the metronome is beating quarter notes. So you see it? 1, 2, it's that. But when we get over to the 6/8 time, it's beating dotted quarter notes. In the left hand at the 6/8 time, it's so it's so we're changing there, so watch out. 1, ready, and go, and 3, and 1, and. Off.